past the cold. So I stay and just repeat it now. Yeah. Oh, we dream about all things being alright, but we freeze when it's all up to us. So let's fight it, make a stand and try it. Everything will matter from now on. Let's fight it, there's no way to hide it. 'Cause everything will matter from now on. 'Cause it's high tide. strong, yeah. No need to run, no need to hide, 'cause I made up my mind. It is you that I will follow, 'cause it is our time, yeah. And I won't wait till tomorrow. Ooh, yeah. I can't wait till tomorrow. No, wanna be by I rebuke. I rebuke. I rebuke. I rebuke. I rebuke.
All the connections are together. Let's see if we can get it going through this channel there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5. Buckle my shoe. There it is. It's registering over here. It shows green. All the preferences are in. Let's check the sources. Audio output. Da, 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 da. You can. Let's see if we can get it going through this channel there. 1, 2, do, 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 do. All right. Buckle my shoe. Looks like we're in. There it is. It's registering over here. It shows green.
I rebuke.
We rebuke it. We rebuke the sound demons. All I was saying is basically, hi, how you doing? Welcome back. We're just now getting started. You build it while you fly it, baby. That's why I say people think it's so easy to be a content creator. All he does is get up there and sits up there and talks. Yeah, you want to try it? To try to balance all these things, a monitor here, a computer there, all these different things, lights, soundboard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 computers, 3 phones, 4 cameras, and an audience, plus content. So that's why I think it's funny when people are like, oh, you guys are just sit up there faking. and posers and this. Look, if you're not who you say you are, you cannot live stream every day. You got to be who you say you are. And today we're going to talk about something that I think really needs to be delved into. Do modern women deserve high value men? Now, before anybody decides to go off and get triggered, I need us to all be on the same page what I mean by deserving high value men. You will hear many women today talk about that they would love to be stay-at-home wives with 2 to 3 children and live in a middle-class life, driving a Porsche truck. I understand that that's the dream. I get it. But the question is, do modern women deserve high value men and a high value lifestyle? Let me explain. But before we get into it, let's look at the likes to dislikes. We got to look at the likes to dislikes right now. We should have about 800, and we're about 100 short. So I'm telling you right now, you're already on my radar. But we'll give it a little time with all the audio issues. I need you guys to ask yourself a question. Do modern women deserve high value men? First of all, let me go ahead and put this out here. You ladies who want to talk about your education, your income, none of these things, shout out to Andre, none of these things have ever made you deserve a high value man. Your education back in the day when women were housewives and things like that, were your education mattered a lot more about your ability to be cultured and well-rounded, not go get a job. Modern women today have been turned into employees of companies, corporations, and the state. Okay. That's what the Prussian school system has done with women today. We've taken home ec and shop out of class. We have made boys and girls in school sexless. Everybody does the same thing. There are no girls' schools and boys' schools. It's all one. So the point to where a lot of high schoolers aren't even dating. If you're under 35, you probably be surprised at what's going on with teenagers today. They go out in groups, and I work with women every day. Well, almost every day, who are accomplished, educated, earning, and have little to no social skills. Physically, 30 plus years old. Developmentally, freshmen in high school. And it's not their fault. We didn't have a choice in this, okay? But we do have to do something about it. Do modern women deserve high value men? And what do I mean by modern women? I mean the modern, college educated, the modern woman who grew up in a major metropolitan area, an NFL or an NBA city. Modern woman who went to a high school and had several hundred people in her class. A modern woman who grew up without a father, grew up with a mother who had multiple children, and the modern woman grew up learning that she needed to go to school, get an education, to get a job, to take care of yourself. You can't rely on them men. I'm talking about a modern woman who did not have Barbie dolls, did not have easy bake ovens. Modern women who got out there and they took all the girl stuff away. Modern women who were not Girl Scouts, did not sell Girl Scout cookies, did nothing girly, have done nothing girly since 8 years old. Okay? Went to school and were all about her books. Made good grades. Went to college. made good grades, graduated, went to law school, medical school, pharmacy school, got a good job. We're talking about women who, for the most part, are attractive, facially anyway. We're talking about women who, even as from a physical standpoint, for the most part, even fit the fitness component. Let's take the women of the HBO miniseries Insecure. Modern women, I am talking about the Issa Raes, the Mollys, the Kellys, the 92. Shout out to BGS Itmore. I'm going to introduce you guys into a term called octanes. Think about octanes. Octanes are a rating system based upon fuel, 85 to 100. 85 octane is the lowest grade gas you can get, and that corresponds to the lowest grade woman you can get. This woman likely just went to high school at best, maybe graduated with, maybe got a GED. She is the quintessential hood chick, trailer park chick, the quintessential around the way girl. This woman is not probably on these shows because for her, life is all about survival. It's literally paycheck to paycheck, robbing Peter to pay Paul, putting lights and utilities in their children's name. Okay? We're going to move those over here. Don't want to belabor that point. 87 octane are the step above. These women graduated from high school. Many went on to get some sort of certification, possibly became some sort of CNA, maybe even, the bulk of your housewives come from 87 octanes. Did not go to college, might have taken up, becoming a hairstylist or something like that, but they don't own businesses. They're workers. The majority of the housewives traditionally came from the 87 octanes. The 89 octanes are what I used to call the Angies and the Tiffany's. The Angies and the Tinas. These are the women that went to college. And I need you to understand the 89 and the 92s are demographically, they're the same woman. They both have a match. They both have at least a bachelor's. What separates 89 and 92, take Issa Rae and Molly. What separates these two women is ambition. The 89 octanes is in human resources. She's in customer service. She possibly rises to the level of supervisor, but they're not trying to climb the corporate ladder. They can see the 92 octane life. They love 92 octane men, but they typically do not have the ambition and tend to not have the fitness component either. Then you get to the 92 octanes. This is the Mollys of the world. Insecure, Issa Rae's friend Molly, the darker skinned attorney. Her, and then the character played by Amanda Seales, another 92 octane. 92 octanes are the sorority girls. These are the women who have corporate America written all over them. They live in Dallas, Houston, Austin, LA, Miami, Chicago, New York City, Philadelphia. They are in the mix. You will not find the 92 octane in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. No, they are in it. They live in DC, Seattle, San Francisco. They want to win. They understand that they have to get in the game, and they're playing, and they're competing against Brett. They're competing against Becky, Mylene, Marisol, because they're in the corporate game. These are women are straight up white collar. And then the 100 octanes, really, I'm going to move them to the side because we don't deal with them either. These are the women who are baller status. These are the straight up women who are LA 9s and 10s. We're talking about women who end up dating right out of high school. They're dating NBA, NFL, entertainer, or outside of our community. These are the women that are getting scooped up when they go to college. They go to college, and somebody in the alumni association introduces one of them to they get connected. Dime pieces, 100 octanes, and 85s. We don't even need to concern ourselves with those. Those are different lives. Different lives. So, why is all that important? So, shout out to BGS Ipmore for coming up with that. And I'm going to do an entire broadcast on the octane model because a lot of women in the 92 octane category will consider themselves as high value women because of their education, income, and social status. I'm not concerning myself with things about their debt or anything like that. We're just going to talk about from the top. Okay. Yeah. Somebody asked if I timed them out for saying the no sound. I didn't time you out. But if you got timed out, fine. Typically when people come in there doing that, that's moderators tend to know what that means. Just lump it. Just let it go. All right. The reason why I did that, people, got to keep the likes up. Last show of the week, we're in Black Friday, but come on, man. Because I'm really going to ask the question. Do modern women, the 89 and 92 octanes, these are your college educated women. These are the women who were told you need to be independent, be able to take care of yourselves. That's what the mama told you from the get-go. That's what society told you from the get-go. All right. Do these women deserve high value men? 87 octane women aren't really concerned with high value men. They are pretty damn happy with the skilled tradesman, blue collar guy, 8 to 5 guy, because they're not so busy worried about material things, corporate possessions. They're trying to just live basically simple lives. And there are probably not many of those people on this channel. An image consultant, my clients come from the 89 and 92s, not the 85s and 87s. And it shouldn't. But the 89 octane women, ask yourself, are you this? This is a woman, she's a school teacher. She has a job. Probably needed a degree to get it. And do these women deserve a high value man? And the thing is, what do high value men want from their women? One, all men want cooperation. High value men demand cooperation, plus they have a standard. High value men, their wives, their women, if you have not learned, have to fit a criteria. One, fit, feminine, cooperative, single, childless, feminine, sophisticated, cultured, graceful, ability to work a room, ability to make him look good in front of his colleagues, ability to, bring something to the table outside of your expectations. And I would say that many modern women don't deserve high value men. Let me tell you why. Because you don't have or you did not learn the basic woman skills that they need. You learned, well, you didn't learn the wife skills. How about that? You learned how to be an independent woman. Okay? You learned how to take care of yourself. But think about some of the questions I asked. When was your last relationship? Where's your history of cooperating with a man successfully? I mean, let's start from the top. How many of you modern women actually learned how to cook? I mean, if there was no COVID Thanksgiving, can you really cook? I mean, I'm not talking about from a recipe. I mean, you know how to cook in the kitchen. I'm not talking about cooking like the last woman that probably cooked in your family was Big Mama. My mother's generation was the last generation of black women where everybody learned how to cook. It was a requirement. They learned how to cook, clean, take care of a home. Many modern women want to be housewives only because you just want to take it easy. You don't realize being a housewife is a lot of work. You want your husband to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning, be out of the door by 6:30, and you think you'll wake up at 8 or 9 o'clock, sleep in, turn on the TV, have a little coffee, sit there and just be cute, get online, do cute stuff, play with a baby or two if you have one. But your day is just filled with leisure. While the rest of the world goes to work, you're just sitting at home being taken care of because you have this high value man. You're a sugar baby. And I have news for you. Modern women en masse were not trained to be housewives or helpmates. You were trained to be single, independent, take care of yourself. And as a modern woman, you need to ask yourself, how true is this to you? Because if you want a high value man and you want this lifestyle to where once you're married, you're having your 2 to 3 kids and you don't want to have to work to pay significant bills, he is going to look at you and say, all right, you're going to be tested. And honestly, ladies, I know, okay, I'll start being honest. My mother used to get so angry with the women I was dating because she's like, none of these girls can cook. None of them learned how to cook. High school sweetheart made macaroni and cheese soup. How do you make macaroni and cheese soup? You get a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese. You put water in the pan. You put water in the pot, bring it to a boil. You pour the noodles in there. Now, you put a little salt in there to help desalinate the water and keep the noodles from being so sticky. All right. This is Kraft macaroni and cheese. Instructions on the box. Bring the water to a boil. Throw the noodles in the pan, in the pot. What comes next? Well, if you don't know how to cook, the thing that comes next is you throw in the cheese and the milk and the butter. But she didn't drain the freaking water. And her mother sat there and watched her her mom came upstairs and watched that her daughter had made Kraft macaroni and cheese soup and was like, God damn. And my high school sweetheart, we chuckle about it all the time. I'm like, you did do that. She didn't know to drain the water off the noodles. Now, her mama could cook. Her mother cooked every day for her family. Cooked every day for her 3 children and her husband. Every day she cooked. But her daughter never learned how to cook. Hand to God, most of the women I've dated up until age 35, I had to do all the cooking because they were such horrible cooks. Could not cook. Wives could not cook. And they would tell you they couldn't cook. They could make a couple of things, but cook, no. And why am I talking about this? Because it's only gotten worse. I mean, showing up cook, picking up, put them in the kitchen, and they're just like, what? You can't pick no greens. Do what with a chicken? What? Yeah, bacon. Fuck that. Ham sandwich. Now, how about you? I like ham sandwiches. After Thanksgiving or Christmas, you got that leftover ham, especially a little chilled. So you got that ham. I like white bread. So what you do? Get that white bread, and you're supposed to get that thin layer of mustard. No. Baby girl, put mustard on one side of the bread, mustard on another side of the bread. Handed it to me. You want a ham sandwich? Gave me the ham sandwich. Had so much mustard on it. When I grabbed the sandwich and squeezed it, mustard started oozing out. It left fingerprints. And I wasn't paying attention. And I bit into the sandwich. And my whole forehead burst into flames. My scalp was steaming because there was mustard running out of a French toast sandwich. And I'm in front of her mother, her two brothers, and her father. And they all knew this girl couldn't cook. She messed up a ham sandwich. And she excused herself, went to the bathroom. Her mom was like, baby, you want some water? I'm like, yes. I mean, it sounds real cute now. And it's like, oh, how cute. But it made horrible relationship stuff. She was a good worker. But as far as taking care of the home, cooking, I would say that's been across the board. I have only dated 2 women in my life. My last serious relationship and Cam Dog. I'm gonna call it Cam. I don't want to say her name. I don't like saying people's name. But when I finally met a woman who could cook, I was like, oh my God. I mean, cook like my mama and them, my mama and my aunts and all them old. And coincidentally, the women in my family like both of those women. Ladies, you say you want to be stay-at-home wives. Who do you know how to be a wife? Do you know how to run a home? Because most of you ladies with your high-value men, you want a nanny and a housekeeper. How many times have we heard that on this show, fellas? I want to be a stay-at-home wife, but I also want a nanny and a housekeeper. Then what the French toast are you gonna do? I'll just lay up in the house and be a queen, be spoiled. No. So if you're a modern woman and you were never trained how to be a housewife, I mean, you were never trained on how to run a home. Let's just say that, run a home. If you were never trained how to run a home, run, organize, and clean a home, and cook, you don't deserve a high-value man. You may want one, but you don't deserve one. Because if he gets you, he's not going to get what he needs. Let's say you're in the percentage of women who might have learned how to do these things. Great. Have you learned how to move in the world of business? Have you learned how to move around his colleagues and his friends? Have you learned how to host a dinner party? Have you learned how to interact with other wives and girlfriends and fiancés? Or are you a liability to him when he brings you around people he needs to impress? Can he bring you around someplace and you not screw it up? Meaning, you get into a conversation that's about a hot button topic, and then here comes the sister girl or the corporate woman attitude. You want to argue when you should be asking who made the pimento loaf and who does your yard. But instead, you want to go in the room, in the front room where the guys are sitting there talking politics or whatever, you want to you want to go in the front room, and you're more comfortable in the room with the men than you are with the women. Hello.
I rebuke.
If you are more comfortable in the room with the men than with the women, you are not fit to be a high value wife.
I rebuke.
And I'm bringing this to your attention because I hear, you've heard it this week, women say, well, we feel as though I deserve a high value husband because I'm feminine, inspirational. And I know what I say, but ladies, the things that I say are more than just words. It takes years of training. And if you did not learn it, it is still required for the men you say you want. So, how are you going to get those men if you don't have those skills? Better yet, if you wanted to work, if you wanted a certain job, and it's your dream job in a dream city, and this job is the one you have had your heart set on, it would change your entire life. You know what you would be willing to do to put yourself in a position to earn that job. Again, that's a job. We're talking about a lifelong partner. This is why when I was saying charm school, wife school, whatever you want to call it, academies, you're going to have to learn this stuff, ladies, because you can't do it on the job. You come in and talk about, oh, I went to college. I went to University of Georgia. Then I went to Duke. Come in and talk about you went to Duke. All right, cool. Then I worked for a Big Four. Okay. You would make a good homeboy. You would make a great person to network with, but you would make a horrible wife. You're somebody I should connect with in LinkedIn. You're always the cool friend, but he's going to get the girl who works on fries at McDonald's because at least she went and worked fast food. Ladies, again, not faulting you that the world told you that all these things are not necessary. Go out and get your education and and that'll make you more attractive to the kind of men you're talking about, and it doesn't. Modern women, modern educated, independent minded, single women do not deserve high value men, and they typically don't get them. Why? Because high value men don't want modern. High value men want traditional. High value men tend to not want, but I don't say don't. The vast majority of high value men don't want modern. They want traditional. And we're talking about 80 to 90%. There may be 5, maybe 15%, depending on where you are. But the vast majority of high value men want the same kind of wives and girlfriends. Traditional. Conservative. Can run a home. Here's the next part that really bothers you. High value men do not want independent women. High value men do not want independent women. High value men want interdependent men. But if you have a history of always relying on yourself, taking care of yourself, then that's going to pop up. So when he steps in to do his thing, you're going to feel uncomfortable with him taking charge. You're going to buck, question, try to get in the pilot seat, and that won't work. Interdependent, not independent. So if you're modern, strike against you. If you're independent, strike against you. Single-minded, strike against you. But if you're traditional, high value men want that. Most men want that. Interdependent, most men want that. And couples minded, partner minded. No, if you're going through the world knowing that there's something missing from your world, then you're in a position. Many of you ladies don't realize something is missing until you run into somebody like myself.
I'm a PhD.
I got my car. I got my condo. What do you mean? I can go to Papado when I want to. If I want to go out shopping and buy something, you judge your life based upon your freedom. And relationships that I'm talking about sound like prison. The men that I'm talking about have standards and they stand on them. So you tend to date down because the men that you date, you can control because they look up to you. But the men you look up to and admire, the men you would really want to be able to submit to, you can't. Because now it's about your ego. Women, in modern women, have tapped into ego. Ego is traditionally a masculine thing, but your egos are all into your identity as a modern woman, and it works in opposition to what it is you say you want. So, all right. So how do we fix it? How do we fix it? Well, first we got to acknowledge it. Are you a modern woman? Do you present like a modern woman? You ladies will be amazed at how many women I talk to on a weekly basis who don't think that they're give off the image they do because they're dressed a certain way. But I'm like, in my profession, I'm very good at reading things. I'm like, no. Even if you have your appearance together, your energy may be off. The way you sit, speak, carry yourself, even the way you talk. Ladies, do you speak with a deep voice, a commanding voice? Then you're going to have to address that. If you want what it is you say you want, high value man, you're going to have to become what he wants because that's what he's picking from. There's no amount of sexing him up to change it. Guys like that will likely have fun with you and then end up going to marry a girl who worked at the library, and you'll be confused. Well, why did he pick her? Girl, I have an MBA from Wharton. I went to the Fuqua School of Business. Went to Northwestern, got an MBA from Duke. And I've done this, I've done that. And girl, he went and married the office manager. Or he went and married the customer service rep or the bank teller. Yeah. Yeah. The men you want don't want you. So if that's the question, why can't you 89 and 92 octane women seem to pair long term with the men that are in your lane, on your level? That's what we're really getting to. Why can't you seem to get the guys? Why can't you get the guys who went to college, who pledged Kappa, Alpha, Omega, Sigma, Iota? Get the guys who are doctors, lawyers, attorneys, pharmacists, physicians, tech, finance, real estate. The guys that are own a logistics firm, small business owner. Why can't you get those guys? They're on your level. Educationally, income, they outpace you. Why can't you get those guys? Why are they skipping you and going to get? Because you're modern. And you're modern and you have not learned how to be what they want. So if that's the case, if that's what you want, and I don't begrudge you, What are you willing to do to get it? You've already proven you're ready to go to school to get a degree that's going to help you get a kind of job and a career and a lifestyle you want. That's why I keep talking about this school stuff, because you're not going to just make it not happen. You're going to have to learn this stuff. And your mama can't teach you. The women of your family can't teach you. Your homegirls can't teach you. You're going to have to go to class. That's why you got the School of Affluence and all that stuff. Shout out to Nicole Michelle. You got the Inner Beauty movement. You're going to have to go to the women who can teach you how to be the things that high value men want. There is no amount of finessing, sexing, playing the game to get this. And you're running out of time. Because your competition learned how to do this when they were little girls. They got the easy bake oven from their mama. And even if they were raised, if Becky was raised by Margaret was teaching her how to boil chicken and make boiled potatoes. And even y'all laugh and talk about non-black people and how flavorless their food is. Yeah, but they learn how to cook it. They'll damn sure try. I've told the story about the first time I ever dated a white woman, and I was confused because I was sick, and she came by my condo in college and brought my favorite pizza, maybe a big thing of chicken noodle soup, cleaned my entire space, brought me medicine, tucked me the hell in, and left. And I was confused. I was like, what just happened? Someone took care of what? Whoa, yes. And that wasn't abnormal. That's what they learned. And ladies, that's the women those are the women that are around the men that you want. Listen and listen good. Those are the women that are around the men that you want. And we're at a place now in 2020 going into 2021. There's no more shaming guys to stay on loyal to. No, they're going to get what they want to get. And if you cannot compete with Marisol, Mylene, Anu, or Becky, it's not because you're not smart enough. You have your degree, you have your job, you have all the brain cells you need. But is your ego in the way of getting what you want? That's the question. Is your ego in the way of getting what you want? Now, I think a lot of women realize that they know. I think a lot of women know. And you have to, and a lot of you ladies know the household you were raised in. You know who your mama was. You know who your aunties were. You know who you are. So let's not act like, even if I'm not 100% right, I'm in the ballpark. You know what's up. So if you know what's up, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? Because I'm dispelling this notion that men don't want women. My clients, like I say, 99% of my clients over the last 5 years have wanted wives, or most have wanted wives, and the ones that didn't want wives were in the small minority, wanted long-term relationships. Most wanted wives and have gone on to get wives. Black men, white men, Asian men, Middle Eastern men, Hispanic men. And the funny thing is, it's easier for a high value man to get what he wants than an 89 or 92 octane modern woman. Now, you know what ends up happening if you don't change anything.
Danger zone!
27 to 35, you're in the danger zone. This is when dating starts to slow way down. Dating starts to slow way down. You're no longer be able to go to the college clubs. Now it's time to start getting real. Like right now, you know you're lonely. You know, in less than a month, you're not putting up a tree. There's no decorations going up in your house. Let's get real, ladies. You want it. You want it. What are you willing to do to get it? Last thing, I'm opening up the call lines. Ladies, modern women who want a different outcome, listen to me, listen well. It can happen. If you are willing to have your aha moment, AHAA moment, your aha moment, you're willing to take accountability for where you are right now. You're ready to be honest, direct, and transparent about who you are, where you are, what needs to happen, and what you want. You're willing to admit the mistakes of the past. The admission part is a battle of your ego and acceptance. Accept that this is where the lane I'm in. Here's my situation, circumstance, and be willing to do something. All of this is an internal thing. It's what men really judge a long-term possible partner. Not your hips, not your waist, not your WAP. It's the software, not the external, the software. They go in basically to go into system preferences and they look to see if your software has the aha update. She's still running version 1.0. She hasn't had the aha update. Keep on moving. And what ends up happening if you don't do it, you don't change any of this. There's your life. There it goes.
I'm a PhD.
I rebuke.
There it goes. You rebuke it all you want to, but there it goes. And no one's going to feel sorry for you. Because now you can't say you didn't know. So the beautiful thing about what's going on online right now is the gender war is over. Now it's time to come to the table and hammer out and negotiate deals. The only way to negotiate a good deal at the table is you got to bring something to it. When you want to hammer out a deal, if you're sitting down, he has what he has, you have what you have. What kind of leverage? You're a high value man. I want a high value lifestyle. You can provide that high lifestyle. Well, great. Here are my skills. Here's what I bring to the table. I can run a home. I can take care of children. I can cook, clean. I can do all this stuff. Oh, okay. All right. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I can verify that. I know who that person is. All right. I don't know. Let's go out on a few dates and see if your resume matches. We're gonna invite you back for a second interview and a third interview before we extend the offer. See, relationships are, dating is interviewing. When you decide to go into a relationship, it's you've been hired, but you're on probation. And many companies will bring you on for a 30, 60, or 90-day probationary period to where if you fall off anywhere in the probationary period, you can be the men of value are going to offer. We'll interview you, bring you in for interview, but extend you a probationary offer. And if you get through that probationary offer, then that's when the commitments start happening. Where are you losing in the process? In the interviews? Or are you losing in the probationary period? If you got a bunch of 6 month or less relationships, you're losing in the probationary period. If you can't even get past 3 dates, you're losing in an interview. If you can't even attract the kind of men you're talking about, you're losing in getting the call back. All these things have a solution. What are you willing to do to get what it is you want? Because, ladies, that's what it comes down to. No one deserves it.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay pues emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te la ve. Que por más que tarde.
We have 3,500 people in here. We go no further until some old folks put 99 cents or a dollar. Nope, not gonna do it. Nope. No. Mm-mm. No. Yeah, no. Over 3,000 people and no. Come on, man. Oh, I forgot. Y'all got excited. It was Black Friday. Y'all done went on sale. All right. Well, hit that the dollar sign down there. That's the super chat thing. That's to say, hey, we appreciate the show you did yesterday for Thanksgiving, and we want to keep this show going. We want to call out and come on, because the same people are donating all the time. We have over 5,000 people in here. If you watch this show and you've never donated, make this the first time you donate. And yes, you're supposed to donate. That's what happens. You don't get to just be entertained for free.
Lo veré caer, somos malos buenos y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré, no vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, el mundo quiere dinero. Money work, se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah, no me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah. Money work,
I'm a PhD.
se arregla con dinero,
PhD.
Money work, corazón, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work, el mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Money work, se arregla con dinero. Money work,
There's nothing to actually
Lunes,
Jimmy,
lunático.
Guys, you know, one of the things about uh, I love about content creation is, look, there's education and entertainment. Shout out to what is it, Hashim, cool, and then Mr. Jordan Kawasi. Um, I will say, I think it's funny. People are like, oh man, why you always got to ask for it? Look, dude, I think if you know what you do and you're good at what you do, what is a joker? Don't do it for free. Don't do it for free, and don't high value men who know what they're worth, and women who know what they're worth. Don't let anybody try to shame you or get you to lower your price. Go to a Bentley dealership and try to ask them for a sale. Now here's a real question: are you a modern woman who wants a different outcome, but you feel like you're stuck? It's too late. It's too hard. You can't change. It's not, I mean, whatever. That's what I find with a lot of women. A lot of women are like, oh my God, I'm just not getting all this information, but I'm too far behind. I'm too far behind. And the question is, okay, what are you willing to do about it? What are you prepared to do? Because if you're behind, I gotta ask. What I have to say is, maybe so. Now what? If you're 20, in your 20s or 30s, you have 50 to 60 years more of life. Trust me, you don't want to know what it looks like to be a woman who lives and dies alone. I've said it before. I see this. You don't want to be in this position. And I know, especially when you're young in your 20s, you may think it's not that big of a deal, but you'll be 27 before you know it, and it'll happen just like that. Nicole, your audio's not connected. So here's a chance to start asking some questions, narrowing it in.
I rebuke.
I rebuke the spirit of failure. I rebuke I can't change nothing. I rebuke I can't do nothing. That's not true. What's the old proverb? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. What are you willing to do to get what it is you want? Or are you willing to lower your standard? Because many women say, I deserve this, I deserve that, but you're not willing to do anything. You can hear what I say and be like, all right, Kevin, that sounds cool. But look, I'm not prepared to do anything. I am good enough the way I am. If you're a woman that feels like you're good enough the way you are, holla at me too. I love to hear what you have to tell the ladies. I would love to hear what you have to tell the ladies, because women are looking for an answer. See, men pretty much have it figured out. Men know this. Look, if I want to have a different standard of life, because ain't nobody coming to save us. Men know ain't nobody coming to save us. If I want something, I got to go work for it. I got to go make connections. I got to put in the effort. But we also have a longer time frame. Louise. Hello? I can. What do you have for me?
The aha moment.
Okay.
I started out, 2021. I moved to this country, and I was pretty green, and I
Okay.
think that thing that really resonated with me was feminism, and I really, really bought into it.
Okay.
And looking back on it now, I'm 28. I honestly I don't know why I got caught up in that, because my mom raised me really traditional.
Okay.
So I cook, I clean, but it's just been, I guess, very hard to meet people that appreciate that.
Mm, okay.
And I'm now learning that, you also, as a person, you have a certain amount of accountability that you have to keep. So if you're not intentionally making good choices, I guess you can't hate all men. Like you just
Mhm.
can't do that. And I think that that's where I am right now, is like,
So
okay.
I have a question for you,
Mhm.
and just your opinion. Why do you think that black women fall for feminism so easily? Because I hear black women from around the world come to this country, and I am astounded by the amount of black women under the age of 23 who were once rabid feminists. Why do you think it's so easy for black women to fall prey to this feminism?
I'm starting to see that with all radical groups, they appeal to a certain type of person. And with feminism, I think that it really appeals to young women who are going through their own struggles. It's almost like an acceptance group. At least that's what it was for me at the
Okay.
time. It
All
felt
right.
like I had a place to belong,
Okay.
and though I was raised traditional, it was still a one-parent household.
Right.
And so, just hearing some of these, some the feminist rhetoric,
Mm-hmm.
it just resonated with me. It felt like I could be home and I was already in a foreign country, and I
Mm-hmm.
just needed something to believe in other than religion. And it sounded good and it felt
Mm.
good in the moment. But, in retrospect, I can definitely tell that I didn't have to be that way, because I'm soft, I'm very feminine, and I enjoy being girly, I enjoy being feminine. And I didn't have to be so hard. I'm sure I put off some really good men in that moment because I was trying to be Margaret Thatcher, or, just
Right, right,
extreme
right.
feminine.
Well, I've always been curious as to why, and I think the whole thing about acceptance, because what I notice is a lot of black women, young black women, seems like they get lost
Mhm.
looking for acceptance, and it's the first place they can actually have some sort of power and control.
Mhm.
That's what I kind of see. But okay,
Exactly.
but I got other people in here. Is there any a question you have for me that I can address?
No, not really. I mean, I wanted to say you've been my aha moment. I've been watching you for a few months now, and I enjoy listening to you every night. It's amazing.
Well, I
So I
appreciate it. Appreciate it. And are you here in this country? What's are you? Where are you at? Where part of the country are you in?
I mean, Texas.
Uh, have you applied to my group, the Facebook group, the Mix?
No, I haven't.
You should
I
apply
don't
to
know how.
the at, okay. In the moderators, please put the links to the Facebook group, the Mix, down there. Also, at the end of my show, I will put my email address up. Actually, I'll put it up now. Send me an email, and I'll send you uh, the link. But you can just go on Facebook and type in the Mix, and just make sure you just answer all the questions. I think you
Okay.
there are a lot of women in Texas, Dallas and Houston are two great mixed cities. But there are women down there to get together. They have their own ladies functions often. A lot of
Thanks.
stuff going on in the group. Okay, thanks.
All right.
All right. Well, I've always been curious as to why it seems that black women are so susceptible to falling in. Okay, just a second. Money World, Taco Bueno. All right. Next up, we have Izzy. Izzy, should I save her? She wants to be saved. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Izzy.
Hi,
Izzy,
Kevin.
should we save her? Your name is Izzy?
Yes.
Should we save her? Now, what's going on, Izzy?
How's it going? I just want to say hi, first of all.
Hi, first of all. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Good. What you got for me?
Um,
Come on.
I was just gonna say that I just turned 33,
Okay.
And now that I'm 33, I realize that I wasted a lot of years with guys. Just every time I was engaged, I felt like there was something better waiting for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Every time you were engaged?
Yeah, I was engaged a few times.
Like a guy dropped to one knee and presented a ring?
Correct.
How many times?
3 times.
You need your ass whooped. You need your ass straight whooped. You know why?
Why?
Because after the first time and you had to give a ring back, did you go to therapy?
No.
Why'd you give the first ring back?
Oh, I didn't give the ring back.
Why'd he take it back?
Why didn't he take it back?
Why did he?
He didn't take the ring back.
Wait a minute. A man gave you a ring as a what's the name of the gift? It's a promissory gift or the gift in contemplation of a marriage. Who broke off the engagement?
I did.
And you didn't give the ring back?
Correct. I didn't give the ring back.
Okay. What about the second time? Did you give
Same
the ring
thing.
back? Third time?
Same thing.
You're trash.
And why?
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, why?
Are you fucking kidding me? An engagement ring is a gift given in contemplation of a marriage. Did a marriage take place?
No, but it didn't work out.
I don't give a fuck
I
if it
offered
worked
to give
out.
it back.
It didn't work. It didn't work out or not, ma'am. You give the ring back.
I offered to give it back.
No, you don't offer. You give it, ma'am. Okay, let's ask a question. Back up off the trash comment. I was joking, but I'm serious too.
Okay.
If you had a son and he proposed to a young lady and he had to work and put 3 months of his salary into something and an engagement fell through, would you want your son to have his money back?
Absolutely.
Those
100%.
3 men were somebody's sons. Right?
Right.
The right thing to do would have been to give them the ring back, not ask if they want the ring back, to give it to them. Because you ended the engagement. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You ended all 3 of them. So you broke up with people and you took rings. If a man had done this, what would we call him?
A fuckboy?
No, we call him a dog. Okay, so, but I'm just curious. Why is it that, and we're going to get on to the next point. Why is it that you felt entitled to keep the rings?
No, I didn't feel entitled. I offered to give the rings back.
I get it that you offered, but you also know men have pride and ego. And
Right.
if you broke it off, they're probably also a little hurt too. So, I mean, the right thing to do would have been to give them back. But you have 3 rings. So let's keep on moving.
Okay.
What is it you would like out of life from a man? And why are you off camera? I'm on camera.
Right now?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm just not uncomfortable being on camera.
Okay, that's fine. What is it you want from a man?
A family, stability.
Family? Children?
No, I don't.
No, you want children.
Oh, yeah, I do.
How many would you like to have?
2.
Okay. And you know all the questions I asked. Do you want to work?
Yeah.
Do you want to
Do
work?
I want to?
Yeah. Do you want to work after you're pregnant?
I don't want to have to.
All right. So what's the longest relationship you've ever had?
3 years.
Okay. Have you ever had therapy?
No.
Just
do you think, Kevin, do you think everybody should have therapy?
Yes. Yes, I think especially if you're black in this country. Yeah.
Okay.
because most of us don't deal, and especially in our culture, we don't deal with traumas very well. We don't have a lot of outlets, but I think that some cases are more acute than others.
Okay.
Um, where's your dad?
I did not grow up with a dad.
All right. Where's mom?
She's at home.
So you want stability and a family. What will a
Correct.
man get from you?
The same thing.
No.
Stability in a family.
Wow. Well, come on, man. That's okay. Um,
Kevin, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna get offline, but I want to keep listening. Okay.
yeah. I will say that you need to do you ever talk to your exes?
No, I never do.
Yeah. Yeah, ma'am. That's something really really wrong with what you've done here.
I agree. That
All right, who's up next? Stephanie. Stephanie. Oop, you got muted again. Sorry. Stephanie, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Stephanie.
I'm unmuted. How
All
are
right.
you,
So
Kevin?
let me say something before I do this, Stephanie. Hold on, Stephanie. This is why I say therapy is so necessary. I mean, if she was honest or not, I mean, she was on camera. She's recorded, so. But whether you're serious or not, whether you if you, let's assume she's playing. That's a horrible thing to play with. Uh, but I take that most people don't joke about things. I think most people joke about things that tend to be close to the truth, and it just goes to just think about the lady we had earlier this week that got caught finessing a dude on a hot mic. You ladies think that men are the you've been told that men are the dogs out here, that men are just so bad, but do you not understand what men are up against? These you know what your homegirls do. Ladies, you need to check your circles. If you hang around women like that, you, it's gonna rub off on what you can potentially get. So, anyways, what do you got for me, Steph?
Well, I missed the question for the day.
Well, no, the question was, do modern women deserve high value men?
um not necessarily no.
So,
Just,
what
uh,
what did you want to add to the discussion?
well, this is my first time getting through. I agree with most of the things that you say, especially when it comes to high value men. I'm a woman of a certain age. And I never got the ring, but I was able to date in that arena, and I just know that um,
Well, what do you want?
from what I've observed,
What do you want? Do you want to be married?
I do want to be married.
Okay. How old are you, by
But
the way?
okay, I'm 52,
Okay.
so I'm well out of the danger zone. I'm looking for a man that could at least work
You
and
looking for a man who could do what?
well, a man that has a pretty good job, not necessarily a man of wealth, but I think I um, gave up that hope about 10 years ago. But I wouldn't mind if he had children because I raised children. I didn't have children of my own, but I did, raise children in relationships in the past.
What was the longest
Um,
relationship you've ever had?
about 4 years.
How long ago was that?
That was maybe 3 years ago.
Okay, so I gotta ask the question: why do you need a man that has a pretty good job? What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I do okay.
Okay,
But I guess I'm looking for somebody that at this point in life that at least has acquired some of the basics, a home, a car, a
why?
car, or be able
Why?
to put some
Why?
things.
Why does he need that? At 52, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm 51. At 52 years old, why do you still have that? If he can take care of himself, why is that not enough?
Well, that's what I'm looking for. Somebody who at least can take care of
Yeah, but
themselves
that does
because
not mean he has to. He can be living paycheck to paycheck like most Americans in this country. He may not
that's
own
true.
a home like most single people in this country.
That's true.
But let's be honest. You want a man who's earning. You want a man to have what you have.
Yeah,
And
that
how
is
and
true.
how much are you making annually?
I make 80,000.
15% of the population make that amount.
Okay,
So let me go ahead and be very direct. At 52 years old, you need a man who's breathing.
that is true.
You let me talk to the other women over 50. You are in no position to put any standards on anything. You're in the process of dying alone. That's where we are. All this, I want him to have a stand. If he can take care of himself, that means he is not a financial burden to you. But anything above that is folly. And it bothers me when I hear black women who are already older black women who are at the black women are at the bottom of the totem pole. And you're going to put anything else on top of this. Because let's be honest, if a man is earning what you're talking about, let's say you're earning 80, let's say he's earning 100, okay? He's in the top 10% of earners and he's 52 years old. You got to ask the question, Stephanie, why does he want you when he can go get a 25-year-old who can give him children, who will be willing to get on this program, who don't have any of the baggage that a 52-year-old person comes with, who don't have any of the expectations that a 52-year-old person comes with, who's got a youthful figure, a youthful body, youthful spirit. I don't date 52-year-old women for these very reasons. You ladies are think you deserve what you had in your 20s.
Well, that's harsh to hear, but the truth.
Harsh
That's
to
true.
hear. It's the truth though.
That's true.
When was the last time a man your age earning the kind of money you're talking about approached you?
Well, I mean, I didn't do too bad out there. I mean, I have to admit, I probably
I said, when was the last time it happened?
maybe like 5 years ago. Maybe
Exactly.
like that.
5 years. So if you get one every 5 years, ma'am, and that was when you were 47, that means you're due for another one in what, 57, 56? So by 2025, you may get a second bite of the apple. See how facetious that sounds?
I don't think.
I don't understand why black women at your age still think you're collectively such hot shit. My mother got married at 50 because she dropped this bullshit. And it turned out to be the biggest blessing in her life when she dropped all this stuff you're talking about. And one of the things I think that has happened is our generation I honestly believe that most of our women in Generation X, I don't want to say hate, but you have contempt for us.
Well, I don't do that. I don't have
I didn't say
contempt.
you, I said in our
Okay,
generation.
I see. Yeah.
Because if not, why would you put the standard so high when you know that the average four person family in this country earns about $43,000 a year? You want one man earning twice that or more. Why? And the reason you want him doing that is so he don't mess with your shit. Let's be real, sis. We two grown people. Let's have a grown ass talk. You want him making that kind of money so he's not a burden on your shit.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
And that's the attitude that will come across. Well, why do you need to I want him to have a good job. Why? So he ain't bothering my stuff. Well, what's your stuff doing for you? What's your job and your house and all that stuff doing for you? No children, holiday season. What's it doing for you?
That's true. I mean, I can't argue that.
But
Um,
and I'm glad you're not trying to. But that's the kind of contempt I'm talking about, that you're my age and I know you would be looking for, off the bat, less than 15% of all men in this country. That means if 100 men were standing in front of you, 85 of them wouldn't be worth a damn. I didn't say 15% of black men, I said all men. That's not adjusted for age, marital status, or sexuality. In your standard, your list basically says this: I don't want nobody just going to just going to mess with my stuff because I'm good the way I am. But that's all you'll ever be. And women like you will die alone with your stuff that really ain't nothing, and you can't take it with you. I mean, we're not talking like millions of dollars. I mean, we're talking just upper middle class living. But we value it so much more than, it's sad that black women your age value that so much more than a man.
but I mean, Kevin, I mean, because I live in Philadelphia, and
Okay.
there are a lot of blue collar men that make, like, say, okay, our transportation system, like say SEPTA, those
I get
men
it.
make.
But the question is, but why? I get it, but it's still money. But why would they? I get it, man. But you didn't answer that question. They may make it, but why would they want you? Because they make it. Are you the? You got to ask. You don't want him to. You want him to make around what you're making, so he can at least not be a burden to you. That's really where a lot of this is coming from. Fine. Well, if he's making enough to where he's not a burden to you, he might be a blessing to a younger woman. He's just not a burden to an older woman. But who's winning in that situation? You're winning if you get a man earning 80,000 plus at 50 plus years old. He's losing. But if you got a woman who was younger, who doesn't own a home, doesn't have your expectations, she's winning and he won too. I'm saying this because I don't want to continue to see Generation X black women dying by themselves over silly stuff. For man, and I have seen too many women your age overlook men who are making less than them. I've seen women overlook men because they didn't have a college degree, and they went to a an HBCU, unaccredited kind of stuff. What I'm saying to you, ma'am, is at our age, what does relationship mean to you? What does it mean to have a man in your life?
When you put it that way, that is. Well, that's why I listen to you, Kevin.
Huh?
That's why I listen to you.
Well, I'm glad you're
You
not
know,
arguing, but we got to start thinking differently about one another.
yes, that's true. I mean, I didn't have a male, friend or voice in my life like when we were growing up.
I get it.
It,
That's why.
and so we didn't have this platform. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
have. I had my girlfriends, which
Mm-hmm.
I assumed were
I
the
get it.
people
That's
to
why I
listen
feel so
to.
bad for our generation. I feel so bad for our generation of black women because I know what happened. Our generation got lied to and robbed, and now the ones of us that are left are sitting here looking like, damn, our grandparents at 50, think about when you was a kid. When we were 10 years old, the 50-year-olds were married. They were
Yeah,
grandparents. They weren't a bunch of
yeah.
single folks trying to figure out what they was going to do for Christmas. But hey, I'm going to go ahead and put you on hold. I got some other folks I'll get to. You
Okay.
can stay here. That was a good call. She Look, man, it's not easy to look at some of this stuff, especially when you're our age. Life starts taking from you. Jamie, hello. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Tacos. What you got for me?
So I noticed that, and I've only been watching your channel for a few months, but a lot of your advice is towards women who are looking for a high value man. But me personally, I married one,
Mm-hmm.
but what I really need is your advice in a situation where I feel like I'm a traditional woman. And I listened to the caller, I think it was last night, the woman who was a stay-at-home mom of 2 and how she kind of regretted that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like as a young traditional woman, I'm 27, when my husband asked me to work for him, when he has 3 companies, I told him no because I had just been offered a really good government job.
Mm-hmm.
And now, we've had an incident in our marriage to where he's seeking divorce. But I would like your advice for a traditional woman who is, and maybe this isn't the appropriate time or platform, but where I could maybe have a piece of advice moving forward on how to kind of reclaim my marriage and try
Oh,
and
okay.
salvage that.
Okay. Okay. What you hit on the topic I'm going to get onto next week is called reclamation. I'm starting to reclaim women like Stephanie and a bunch of other folks. We'll be reclaiming a
Okay.
bunch of y'all. All right. Incident in your marriage. Um, was that on your side or on his side?
My side.
All right. Um, he asked you to work for the businesses that he has that fund the family, and you said
Hmm.
no.
Yes, he asked before we were married, and because I had just been offered a good job, I felt like
Okay,
it,
and so
you know,
I'm just getting the landscape. So do you have did you go take the government job?
I did.
All right, are you still there?
I am.
All right, how are the businesses doing?
2 out of 3 are doing very well.
Um, would the third one have done better had you worked for it?
I'm not sure. I think there were a lot of issues when he purchased the company,
Okay,
and so,
just big picture. All right, so there was already I don't want to say a breach of trust, but there was already uh, a desire for you to make your own kind of claim. You wanted to put your own stake out in the world, more or less, in the context of a relationship.
mhm.
Um, that has a consequence. Now, whatever thing that happened, was it infidelity?
No.
All right. What I'm needing to try to understand is how serious of a breach for somebody to seek divorce without. You want to type it in the chat room?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, because
1 moment.
yeah, because if you are trying to reclaim, if you're trying to basically win your spouse back, it depends on what we're trying to overcome. Let me see, Jamie. Let me get down to Jamie.
I'm typing now as well.
Okay. I'm looking for your name here. Yeah. All right. Type here. Here you go. Oh. All right. How long ago was that?
That was maybe 2 weeks ago.
And is that okay? And from that point, he said no mas.
No, and that's the hard part that I'm trying to wrap my head around is I feel like I've made efforts in our home aside from not being there, trying to be the best, wife that I could be and quote unquote traditional wife. Um, and we were working on things after that.
Uh-huh.
And so we ended up losing it. What I
Okay.
mentioned, the result of that.
All right. So if you asked him when he said he wants to file, what reason did he give you?
He was showing me a lot of efforts towards making it work, and his heart, I felt, was postured that he wanted to maintain our relationship. But he
Mhm.
went home one weekend to Laredo, and his family was really against everything. And I felt like their emotions were very heightened. And so they convinced him that that was what was best. And so I'm torn because I don't think that he genuinely wants this divorce himself, but he's pressured.
Okay. Well, this is what happens when you bring family into stuff. But was it on grounds of irreconcilable differences? Is that what he's talking about? I mean, there's a reason he has to be wanting to walk,
Right.
and it can't just be what you just typed in there.
Well, that's why I'm so like flustered and confused
All right. Well,
because
what I would tell you one of the first things you keep saying traditional woman, but when a husband comes to a wife and says, "Hey, work for our legacy," and you say, "No, I'm going to go work for the government," that's a problem.
we weren't married.
Okay. Okay. I thought you said okay. You weren't married at the
That,
time. Okay.
right.
I'm confused. Um, have you guys been to counseling?
We have a therapist, yes, but
Have you been
we
to?
haven't. I
Okay.
haven't seen the therapist since the incident.
All right. Individual counseling is good, but also the things they'll call it's not divorce care. What is it? It's like Christian marriage counseling. Let me think of the name. I forgot what it is. Christian. Are you Christian or are you non-denominational?
Yes, and we have sought counsel in our church, but he's since left the church. I think because he's just very embarrassed and with the whole situation.
Well, it's not divorce care. Um, oh Jesus. Group marital counseling is often works wonders because when you and your spouse are in counseling, it's you, him, and the therapist, and often it gets to be untenable. But when you can actually hear other people's problems, you can start to really
Mhm.
compare and contrast how major your stuff is. Because I don't, you don't need to go that deep into it, but I do know one thing. I don't know if you or he wants to be single out here.
Mhm.
Uh, and oftentimes people get a divorce because families are pressuring and a lot of experience with this one. Families are pressuring this and that, and then they regret it. Why? You know, I mean, I don't know. No, I'm trying to figure out, remember what it was. Group Christian marital counseling, pre pre-divorce counseling. Hold on. Christian pre-divorce counseling. I don't remember what it was called, but we went to this pre-divorce. Um, are you guys still living together?
Not as of last week, but after the incident, immediately we were.
Okay. Well, in your area there, look, whoever hosts divorce care in your area, there should be something before divorce care. Um, Basically, what I'm looking at is pre-divorce counseling, where they do it and it's usually done at church in the context of groups, because then as a husband and wife, you can get to go be around other couples in flux, and it's not so tense. You're not always listening to you and him. And really, it's a good time to. It's also a good way to compare what's going on because it may seem like a major deal with what you guys are listening to, but then you listen to what another couple is going through. You're like, you know what? Maybe we need to redouble our efforts because you have how many children?
None,
You
none.
have no children.
Yeah.
Um, does he
We
have any
were just
children?
married. No, we were just married.
How long ago? How long have you been married?
We were married about a month.
No, you guys have been married for 1 month.
Yeah, we were together for 7 months before, or 6 months before, and we were
Oh,
married in the
all
sixth
right.
month.
Now, okay, I'm confused because I thought there were children involved. All right,
No, 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 no.
all right. So let's back up. You've been married. You've been married about a month,
Mhm. And
and
we
you
got, I'll just mention it, we got pregnant right away. So that's why I said I was
r-
experiencing those
right, right, right,
hormones.
right. But does he have any children?
No,
How old is he?
28,
And how old are you?
27.
Yeah, he's young,
And he's a
and
high earner too, so I'm just
uh,
convinced that he can go and find like whoever he
well,
wants.
I mean, but that's possible, but that's not the real point. The bigger point is his family's involved in this, and you guys shouldn't be having this major problems a month into marriage. Um, yeah, you guys need if you're going to make a marriage work, you're going to have some sort of counseling without his family uh, involved, and to see if you guys even have enough to go the distance. Because it sounds to me though, as you guys got married under tense conditions, and you got a lot going on. A month married, I mean, hell, you may even be able to know that. I don't know. But if he doesn't want to stay, you're not going to be able to make him stay. That's really what it comes down to. And I hate to say it, but you got a month into a marriage. It's not a lot. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of confused at what you were saying. Um, yeah, best you can do is if you guys can get in to talk to a counselor and to see if you guys can put together a marital plan to try to get on the same page to make it work. But if
Is
he's
there
going,
any advice that you might have towards like having
I've
that conversation to convincing him that it's worth
well,
the counseling?
you all you can do. Okay, why do you want to stay? If what you're telling is showing what happened, he wants to leave. That seems like a little thing to want to leave over.
Right.
And you're saying that you guys have been together for 7 months, and he wanted you to take work for the businesses. You're telling me that a business failed inside of the 7 months. You got a job at the government inside. It's a lot of shit to go on. For how long y'all been together? Less than a year.
It didn't fail. It's just not as successful as his
But you
other
guys have been
two.
together less than a year.
Right.
That's a lot of stuff. It's a
I
lot of
agree.
stuff. I mean, you didn't want to go work for the business. It sounds as though y'all got rushed into a marriage because of your situation. Um, and it doesn't really sound like y'all was on stable ground to begin with. You wanted to do what you wanted to do, and you did it. Uh, so all I can do is say you'd be good to try to go find group marital counseling ahead of time and ask him to go. But he's a grown man; he can decide to go or not. And he sounds like he's already made his decision to leave because it's involved his family already. So I wish you all the best, though.
I appreciate it.
Thanks. Yeah. Whew. It's hard. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get over to Miss Nakisha. Nakisha Farrell. Uh, Nakisha. Hello. Unmute yourself. Hello. Hi. Good. What you got for me?
I greatly appreciate it. Um, I wanted to get your thoughts on something. I have been single for about 13 months and I've
Okay.
been scared as hell to get out and start dating. Of course, COVID happened, but even outside of that,
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm really afraid to get out and start dating because I want
Why?
to give my whole self to people, but I've been put in a situation where I'm not sure how to do it and protect myself at the same time. However, in listening to you, I know that I'm like,
Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down.
okay,
Y'all, ladies like to speak in code. You've been single for 13 months and you're
yes,
scared to get out here. What state are you in?
I'm in Mississippi.
Cricket letter. Oh, Lord.
Yes, humpback, humpback.
How old are you?
I'm 41, about to be 42.
Oh, you wrong South. Any children?
No children. I've been a stepmother a couple of times.
But what are you afraid of at 41?
Well, so I've been married 3 times,
Oh!
divorced 3 times, and
Goddamn! I've been divorced twice, but goddamn, come on.
Well, I didn't think the third one was going to happen.
Okay,
so.
but what? Okay, so all right. Hey, but better than 3 engagement rings kept. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
what are you afraid of?
Well, I try to be the best wife I can, and I think this last one I really showed up the best way I knew how, and that's who I want to be. I want to be a certain type of woman to my husband or to whoever I'm dating, and I give a lot, and so.
All right. So I still don't know what you're afraid of, but let's go into this. How young were you when you first got married?
The first marriage was 19.
How long did that last?
5 years.
No children.
No children.
All right. The second time you got married, how old were you?
I was in my 30s. I really don't remember that. I try to forget that one. But I was in my 30s, and I think legally we were married for about 1.5 to 2 years, maybe.
Okay. And the third time?
This last time we were married for 5, dated for 3, so a total of 8 years.
And why did you divorce the first time?
The first time there was a huge age gap where my husband was not extremely older. He was like, no, he was 9 years older, but
that's not.
But I ended up being a little. I was older than him in how I was living my life. And he's sort of got left behind.
The cause.
It was just irreconcilable differences. But
he was 9 years old. Hold on. So he was 9 years older, but you're saying you were more mature?
Yes, and then ultimately at the 5-year mark, I wanted to have children. I had to do in vitro.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. But then the second one, why? The one you forgot.
I shouldn't have married him. He had 6 kids. And
Jesus! Cricket ladder, damn it! All right, and the third time, 5 years, 3 together, 3. I would get 8 years, 5 married.
Yes. The reason it ended was infidelity.
How long? Who'd you cheat with?
No, I didn't. He did.
Yeah, okay. All right. So you've had 5, 8, 15 years. All right. So you've been in a relationship since roughly your 20s. That would terrify me if I met you, because you know how to get into relationships, and the middle one that you wanted to forget, that's troubling. But it's not a death sentence. What do you want? Do you want to get married again?
Well, so I don't know if I want to get married again. I just know that I want to be in a partnership. I want a child. And I want a child.
Oh.
So of course, this last time I decided to walk because I want a family more than I want a child. So I do want to be with whoever I have the child with.
You're 41.
Yes, sir.
Have you had a fertility test?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. I have to go through in vitro. So that process, I was in that process as I decided to leave last year. So I would have to go through in vitro fertilization.
All right. So the difficulty of finding and Mississippi is not an easy place to find men, number one.
Well, I like moving. So, but yes, it's not.
But 41, ma'am. 41.
Yes, sir.
And wanting to have a child at 41, this is an interesting case. So you want advice on what?
So so because I do want a child, of course, I don't want that to be the first thing I talk about. But in each of our marriages, I did find that like towards the end, it was like
You want a
the whole
child
back.
you want a child in context of a marriage. You want to
Yes,
be married with a child.
yes. So I feel like my
That
timing is
that's gonna be near impossible, dear.
yes, sir. Okay, that's fine. I can accept that.
Well,
But
it's gonna be near impossible because you're already 41 years old. You gotta meet somebody who'd be willing, who
mhm.
would even want to be married, and that's far too. That's old to be having a kid.
You think so?
Nature thinks so. Well, what age does high risk pregnancy start?
I had this trouble since I was in my 20s. So like I don't think
Okay.
it's the age
But
thing.
no, it is. See, no, black woman. See, black
Yes.
woman, you love to act like the rules don't apply to you. High
Oh,
risk pregnancy for women starts at what age?
oh, you said high risk. 35.
And you're 6 years beyond that today.
I get that.
So if you met somebody today, the soonest you would be married is 6 months.
So,
And then hold on.
yes, sir.
I get what you want. But I get what you want. But the clock is against you.
Yes.
And getting in marriage is no guarantee. When you've been divorced 3 times, the chances of staying married a fourth time are very, very low.
Oh man.
So basically, as a man, this is what you're asking a man to look at. I've been divorced 3 times and I want a baby. So you want me to be a weekend dad. Because once you get what you want from me, my seed, you'll divorce me and I gotta pay you child support and and see my kid every other weekend. That's really that's what you're asking most men to look at.
Yes, sir. Mr. Samuels,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. Can I say okay? So I have sort of become to the point where I'm like, okay, I can live life just fine without a child. I just I just feel like I do have I love being a supporter and a nurturer, and I love like just being with someone and loving them and just being with someone that loves me. I love that, right? So if I'm with someone and I realize and I've accepted the fact that maybe a child isn't going to happen, I'm fine with that. I want to start back dating, and I've had several offers, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I
You're
don't
putting
know.
too much pressure onto the situation, man.
So it's okay that I think I'm putting pressure on it because it's like I'm like getting older and I'm like, am I
But
going
the
to, I
point
don't
is,
want
okay, but you're okay, but that's your concern.
to, okay.
You can't come to us men and put those kind of pressures on us. That ain't our problem.
No,
You
I'm
speaking for
getting pressure.
listen,
Oh,
listen. You want what you want is driving you up a wall. I want what I want. My time is running out. Pressure, 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 pressure. And that energy is coming through on a phone call. So I can only imagine what it will come through on a date.
what I'm saying, is it okay? Like, I'm just trying to chill, I guess, around me. So when I'm telling you what I want is ultimately like right now, I feel
All
like the
right.
pressure for me is like people saying like, you're just sitting there, you're getting older. And it's making me feel as if like
People,
I should be doing something different.
okay,
I feel like I just need to chill. Like you talk to
I
Izzy.
don't know. Okay, now you're confusing me. You say people are telling you, ma'am, you're 41, and who's people? What are you talking about?
I guess I don't
I
know
don't
who
know.
people are.
I don't. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, okay.
But you, okay. All right.
I'm
All right.
sorry. I love listening to you. Now I
Ooh.
see how it feels to be on here because
Oh,
it's
but
like you're
calm down, calm down.
okay.
I'm serious. At 41, see, are you a high strung person?
No, I don't. I don't think I am. I actually, and when I
Okay.
get off, I'm gonna do my meditation and everything.
All
So
right. All right. So you're afraid to get out here and date. Well, dating is not. There shouldn't be this much. There shouldn't be this pressure filled at 41. Honestly, with the way the clock is set up, man, you should be looking at quality of life. How to not end up divorced again.
yeah,
This should be your number one concern. It's not a kid. A kid, I mean, it's not in the cards for everybody. Especially if you want to be married before you have a child. No, that's just
Yeah.
too. So if you're a relationship kind of woman, that's fine. There's a possibility, but you can't go into it with all this pressure. I want this, I want that, and it's time and this and that. And this person said this person said that, and I'm afraid. It's like none of the stuff you're talking about is an abundance or nice. It's a scarcity, fear based energy. And this is
Yes,
you're gonna draw chaos to you because you're in a chaotic mindset.
you're right.
I know. So chill. Uh, and what part of Mississippi?
Madison.
Why are you living in Mississippi?
So I've lived in several places, but the last time I relocated back home was with my husband because
Okay.
he wanted to be here. But I'm actually trying to relocate again. So I've
Mm.
lived in several different places.
So where?
Where am I trying to relocate to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm actually looking in the company that I'm working with to try to see where I want to relocate. I want to go out west because I've never lived there, but because I lived all over the South. So I want to go a little bit further away.
Get out of Mississippi. So I'll say
Yes,
that.
sir. Yeah.
Get out of Mississippi. I mean, you're a pretty woman, but you can't have this much pressure. See, the thing is, we have to start looking at life differently at our age.
Yeah.
You're still trying to cram a 20-year-old's life into a 40-year-old woman. You can't do that. You've been married 3 times. Look, that's already scary enough. So, what does a successful life look like at 41 on until you're 80? How about just a happy, healthy, functional relationship with a man who wants to be with you, and you guys enjoy each other's company, even if a child doesn't happen, which likelihood it won't because you have to go in vitro and that's just too many variables, and you only get one kid out of it too.
Yeah.
You have to redefine life and get all right with the fact that maybe I just get a husband and somebody to live with and exist with and share life with and chronicle his life. He chronicles mine. We get to eat out and travel and enjoy
Travel.
each other's
Yes.
time. But all this other stuff is no, that's too much. And that's a far easier date than what you're talking about because you need to get married like in 9 months or less. Because you're gonna
Yeah.
want to start getting pregnant like after marriage, and I'm sorry, like most dudes are just looking at. Most guys do not look at 40 or 1 year old woman for children. They won't say it, but they be like, "Damn, the risks are too high. She's not even young enough to carry the stress, so I got to pick up the stress because she won't be able to do all the stuff a young woman can do. If I'm gonna go be a first time father, I'll get a 25-year-old who has the body for it."
Yeah.
And this is what men think. Men also think, how long ago did you take that picture?
This was in the springtime. So
All right. So what's your dress size?
I'm at a 6. I'm losing weight now, but I'm at a 6.
All right. But see, as a man, I'm gonna be honest. First thing I'd be looking at is I would never see that again. I would be looking at a dress size 10, 12 for the rest of my life after that
Huh?
baby. Yes, because you're 41. And baby weight's not gonna just fall off of you.
Oh, okay.
So this is what men are thinking, like, well, no. So I got a newborn and a wife that's gonna be bigger than this for the rest. An in vitro pregnancy and all the things that come along with that, all those bills and expenses, and then your focus is going to go to that baby, not your husband.
I don't want
So,
that.
so this is a bad deal for a dude. In his mind, he's like, shit. So,
Yeah.
you need to find a boyfriend, buy a dog. Y'all can be dog parents. You are the woman I would tell buy a dog. Move to Atlanta or Denver or move to a city with Tucson or Phoenix. Move to a city where you can date someone. You're 41, he's 45. Y'all consolidate, live together, have freaky circus sex.
Oh, yes.
No babies coming out of it, and y'all
Okay.
can get a dog together. And then get the fuck on out of here and stay out of Mississippi until the holidays and everything else. But all right, Ma, appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much
Bye.
for your time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You say. All right, so who's up next? Taylor Johnson. I will say this, man. I'd rather hear divorced 3 times than I've been engaged 3 times. At least she went through with it. Other people, see, black folk, we got this thing about divorce. Hello, what's going on? Good. What you got for me?
Okay, so I'm 23. I graduate with 2 degrees this semester. I'm just starting my life. I'm just looking for dating advice, really. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm on my weight loss journey. I've invested in a therapist. What's my next step?
On your weight loss journey. Okay. You just breeze past that. How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
5'8". Dress size.
Right now I'm a 10.
Okay, and how much did you weigh at your highest?
Okay, so I was very big growing up, and I had lost 70 pounds when I went to college initially. So this past year, literally, I've gained most of the weight back, mainly due to like depression and all that stuff.
How much did you weigh at your highest?
At my highest, 210.
All right.
That's where I'm at, like,
all right,
coming down from.
So, have you always been a bigger girl?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you say you're seeing a therapist now?
Yes, I just invested into one last month. So this is my first month actually talking to him.
Okay, so you have to. Okay, if you're gonna say your weight was a result of depression, is that what your therapist said?
No, I'm an emotional eater, and that's what me and her have been coping. Well, that and among other things. No.
So fitness has to become top of mind. At 23, your life history has allowed you to become the size you are at a young age. That's mapped in. So men don't want, let's say you want to get married, guys don't want a woman that big. So fitness has to become top of mind if you want to be successful in dating the kind of men most women want. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right. So how often are you working out?
I work out twice a week right now. I just started. Yeah, I only work out twice a week. I'm an entrepreneur.
Hold on. Let me stop you right there. Rewind back. Can't give me that entrepreneur excuse. I'm 51 years old, and I guarantee you I work more than you, and I still work out.
Absolutely.
Young lady.
Yes.
You can't be lazy about this. You should be working out 5 times a week.
5 times. Okay.
Or what you do is you go ahead and buy a dog.
Aww.
Because 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. And you cannot put additional struggles on top of this.
Absolutely.
So if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to want a man who's actually successful and learn the kind of stuff. And why would he want a 210-pound woman? No, he's going to want a 120-pound woman. What did I say about a woman being under discipline and working out 2 times a week lacks discipline? That's why I said the first thing out of my mouth is you're going to have to make fitness your lifestyle and your North Star. And your answer was troubling. Because it's like, you'll lose weight enough to get what you want. And women who do what you do typically lose weight for a goal, then they blow back up. No. This has to be a new normal. Commitment to it, because this is what you need for a healthy life. Not 2 times a week. At 23 years old, 2 times a week, that's a 70-year-old's workout schedule.
Gotcha.
This is why we have the 80% overweight crisis in black women.
I'm not sloppy with it though. Like I'm very compact with the way I understand that that's not an excuse or anything. It's just
Then don't give it to me.
I'm working
Then
on
don't
it.
give it to me. Then don't give it to me. See what you just did? You asked me for my advice, and then you tell me why what you're doing is all right. And
Oh no, I'm not saying it's all right.
You're not sloppy with it. But this is why Becky, Marisol, and Mylene are running circles around y'all, because you think because the fat landed in places where guys tend to like it, it makes it all right. No, 210 pounds, ma'am. You're the size of a running back. How about that? 5'10", 5'8", 210 pounds. That was the size of defensive backs are 175 pounds. You're the size of a running back. Emmitt Smith, 5'8", 230 pounds. You're roughly the size of a running back. All pro, NFL. Canton. That won't work. That's why I'm not moving any further. Unless you're going to commit to maintaining a fit lifestyle for life, you'll be dating lower value men. And that's and that's what you'll qualify for. You don't qualify for a higher value man.
Gotcha.
So why does that sound so depressing to you? Because it's like what I'm not hearing. What I'm not hearing is, oh, really? That's it? Because that's like an easy thing to do. But it sounds like, damn.
It's not depressing. No, I'm writing it down. I'm sorry, I have my little notepad. I'm typing like I'm writing what you're speaking down.
When was the last time you were dress size 4?
I've never been a dress size 4.
Yeah, you have. No. You didn't just grow from being. You may not remember, but you were. There was a time where you were a dress size 4. It might have been 6th grade, but it happened.
The smallest dress size I've ever been was a 6, and that was last year and a half ago. Last year, 2019. Well,
again, dress size 4 is your target.
Okay.
Okay. 5'8". At best, 140 pounds. 5'9", 145 pounds. That's the top. The top. Tippy tip top. So tattoo it on your head, and I don't care how many people run around and tell you, well, black women are different. The body mass index, the curves, the hips, whatever. Look at their left finger and see if there's a ring from a man of value on it. The smaller the woman, the bigger the ring. This is one of the biggest challenges for black women, the inability to maintain fitness. Femininity influencers, femininity coaches will tell you the same thing. This is where black women lose the game. It's that important.
Absolutely. Okay, so after I get this weight off, right? What would be the next step? So is that my main priority? So should I not date at this time? Should that only be my focus?
Well, again, you can date, but the kind of men you're going to attract are going to be 2 different kinds of men. First of all, what do you want out of life? Do you want to be married?
Yes.
You want children?
Yes, absolutely.
How many?
I want 3. I came from a really big family, and I just want 3 to pass on my legacy.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant?
Significant? No, but I would like to make my own money, like house money.
Why?
I like working, if that makes sense.
Why do you want to have your own money? That's what I said.
Okay, so I'm a painter. I'm an artist. So
Why do you want to have your own money?
For security, for my own purposes. Like you never rely 1,000%.
Then don't get married.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be dead. I mean, because what I'm reading from you, ma'am. What I'm reading from you is not a wife.
Okay.
At 23, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm this and that. Yeah, you're all about you. And you want your money for security. Then that means you're already going into a marriage with an exit plan. Stay single, buy a dog, and live how you want to.
Not a dog. No, I love. I'm so weak.
Because I'm telling you, you don't want to have to work to pay significant bills. That means your husband is going to have to carry the financial load. You only want to work for your selfish purposes. To have
no,
your
not
money.
even.
Stop.
Okay.
You said for your own money. I said for why? I said why? For security. That's for you. That ain't for nobody other than you. That's selfish. That's not marriage. That's not a partnership. That is a business. That's like going into business with somebody who has an out clause and is only protecting themselves. No.
Okay.
So I said, and I don't judge it. I'm just telling you, ma'am, too many of you modern women want to be treated like a traditional woman when you're not willing to even come out. You're not at 23. There's no reason you should be the size you are. But we keep on moving past that. And there's no reason you should be looking at the back out at the exit when you haven't even gone through the entrance. And you're competing against women who are not entrepreneurs, who are willing to be, who are already raised and willing to stay in shape and then become partners in the home to do those things. I mean, let's run down the list. Are you a great cook?
Yes.
All right.
Hello.
I'm listening. I'm going. A great cook.
Yes.
Do you come up with your own recipes or you cook out of a cookbook?
Well, a mixture of both. My grandma taught me how to cook, and then you know how those little.
All right. So what about keeping a home? Do you keep a nice, clean, orderly home?
I like to think I do.
All right. So again, I begrudge you, but this entrepreneur thing, I still read Modern Woman, and that's a modern woman. You want a man to make the majority of the money, so you can have maximum flexibility, but you would be your priority. That's why the money always tells the truth, ma'am. And wanting to have your own money means you are having an exit strategy.
I never thought about it like that.
Well, what did your dad think about it?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him about that.
Where's he at?
He's in Atlanta.
Where are you?
In Atlanta.
Were you raised with him in the household?
No, not at all. I kind of met him a few years ago.
Exactly. That's why I do what I do. Daddy issues, like many in the black community, raised with a mother.
That's what I'm seeking therapy for. That's what.
Ma'am, it's not a judgment. I had the same thing. But if you're raised by a single mother, most people are raised to see a woman doing everything. So it's like, well, take care of yourself. You can't depend on nobody for yourself. The same story. It's a broken record, and it keeps breaking because even in the context of a marriage where you had 2 or 3 children, where you did not have to work to pay significant bills, you still want to work for your own money, for your security.
I feel like I misspoke, or maybe I didn't say that correctly. It's not just for my own security. So my understanding of the dynamic is the man will pay the significant bills, and I will pay the in-house bills. I will pay for the kids stuff. I will pay for if they want to do soccer practice or have. That will be my job. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, but that's fine. But I said, why do you want to work? You said because you want to have access to your own money for security.
For security, yeah, just a rainy day. Like, what if he's having a bad day or he loses his job? I want to be able to
let's take it. Okay, you want to be honest? Let me give you that. But the security is also if it doesn't work out right.
I can see that. I can see where you.
Let's be honest. Put your cards on the table. That's also what's in there. True or false?
Yeah.
Well, then let's not play games. That's the upside for the kids' soccer fund or whatever. But the real purpose is so I'm not solely dependent upon no man. If it doesn't work out, I'm still cool. That's why I just cut to the chase. Because everyone wants to look at the best case scenario, but the worst case is what tends to happen when problems arise. This is why we are so quick to leave each other. We are disposable to one another in the black community. That's why I said what I said. You need to go figure out what marriage is because you didn't see it coming up like most of us. You need to understand what the kind of man you would want from a woman. And you need to ask yourself, are you capable of being that?
Okay.
And from what I'm hearing, sounds like you're more like a modern woman. And that means a different setup, but not working to pay significant. Okay, I
what
got to get on
setup
to
are you
somebody. I
in?
got to get on to other people.
Okay.
You can
Okay,
book a
thank
session.
you.
Yeah, I got it. The problem is, too many women want to be traditionally taken care of, but you don't want to play the traditional roles. You don't want to be under a man's authority, ultimately submitting to what his program and putting all the responsibility on him. You still want to be able to. There's still a fear motivating many in our community, and I get why it's there, but we got to address it. Appreciate it though. Thanks. Where are we gonna go next? Who has not spoken? Let me see what's going on in the chat room. All right, man. Let me see what's going on in these super chats. Answer some of these questions. Ladies, I'll get to you in just a second. She said, I'm 6'4", 201. You compact like, I know, right? I'm 200 pounds. I'm 6'4", 200 pounds. I'm like, you weigh more than I do. All right, man, we're going to need at least 5 more people to throw something in here because we got all these folks in here. Come on, man. Don't just have me working like a mule, guys. We got 6 more people. And the last person that threw something in there was 20 minutes ago. Hello? Hi, first name is? What you got for me?
The standard.
Okay.
So my last relationship, it ended a few months ago, and it ended because I did not have a degree, but I make almost as much as he does, and he felt that by me not having a degree, I wasn't qualified to be with what he considered himself to be a high value individual.
All right. So what's the question?
How did like that? I feel that's the opposite situation of dealing with someone because I personally.
But what's the question though?
How do you deal with that type of situation? How would you fix that situation?
You don't. He felt like you weren't on his level. Right?
Correct.
Okay.
But he's also upset that we broke up, but he pulled the trigger.
Right. I mean, he's entitled to have his preferences, but there's nothing I can do to fix a person's preferences. If you're saying that you are earning roughly what he was earning, he had a degree and you didn't, right?
Correct.
And the reason he says he broke up with you is because you don't have a degree.
Right. So
how long were you guys together?
7 years.
Ma'am, he didn't break up with you because you didn't have a degree.
That's his excuse.
Well, but the thing is, you're asking me to fix that's why the question makes no sense.
No. I'm not asking to fix the situation.
Hold on. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 36.
All right. And you were with a man for 7 years. Did you want to marry this man?
Yes.
Did you go into the relationship with the understanding that you wanted to get married?
Yes.
In what time frame?
Well, that was my fault for not setting an intention. I didn't set a time frame.
All right. And did he go into a relationship with you saying that he wanted to get married?
Yes.
All right. So at what age, and what point in the relationship did you guys have the conversation about where is this going?
In the beginning, probably within the first 6 months.
In the first 6 months.
We were.
So listen.
We were both military, so we held off on getting married and doing that until we settled down.
I got it. The first 6 months. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was 6 years and 6 months more.
Correct.
All right. So you didn't really go into this with the expectation of getting married. It sounds like many women, you guys just want to get married because you've been in a relationship for so long. and the relationship ran its course. A man is not with you for 7 years and then decides to leave you because you don't have a piece of paper from a university or a college. You know that. It bothers you, as it should, but you know that's not the truth. How long have you guys been broke up?
About three months.
Does he have a new girlfriend?
No.
Do you guys still communicate?
Yes, we have a child.
How old is the child?
4.
So you got married without the benefit of, got a child without the benefit of marriage.
Correct.
That's the bigger issue, ma'am. The question you asked at the beginning. Okay, let's back up. Sounds like you got a problematic relationship. Because I'm not at 36 years old. You know that's not the reason he broke up. You guys got a kid together. Is he on child support? Does he see the kid? Yeah, cordial.
We're co-parenting.
All right.
We're cordial.
All right.
So there's
but you're angry with him. Are you upset?
I was at first,
okay,
but I'm not anymore.
Then why would you ask? Okay, so why? So if I had, then why is this even a question? If you're not angry, if you're not upset anymore, why is it even a question? If he broke up with you, broke up with you.
Because he is in the most egotistical way possible. He's attempting to tell me what I need to do to come back to him. But instead of just admitting that he misses me.
Whoa. What do you mean the most egotistical way possible? He broke it off with you, and he's telling you what you need to do in order to come back to him.
Correct.
Do you want to go back to him?
Not as the person.
You broke up. Say what?
I think he needs to go to counseling to deal with some of his issues, and if he was willing to do that, then yes. But if not, then no.
Yeah, I don't know how to help you.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just. This is confusing me.
His family is very involved in his decision making in the relationship.
That man ain't married. That man's not marrying you. That's the bottom line. He's not marrying you. You didn't make a requirement before you had a child. He's not marrying you. And the relationship is over. And both of you guys are going to have to come to a way to move on. Because there's some unresolved feelings here that are not positive. But getting back together, telling you the only way I'll marry you is if you go get a college degree, and the way you said it in the most egotistical way possible, that's far too much animation for something that you say you don't want. He needs therapy. You both sound like you could use therapy.
Oh, no, I agree on that part, but I'm getting therapy.
All right. But then focus on your recovery, not his. That's often the problem with you ladies.
Okay.
You try to figure you're getting, but you still want somebody to tell you, okay, you want me to make it? He's wrong. He's a bad person. You're wonderful. Still ain't gonna change nothing. Therapy's not to say you're right and he's wrong. It didn't work out.
No,
it didn't work out.
I was hoping that therapy would help communication.
Well, why are you communicating with somebody you don't want to be with? That's why I said.
Because we still have a child together.
Doesn't matter. You don't have to communicate. I mean, you can type, and you don't have to like one another to communicate. You can communicate via email or text. See, that's the thing. You still want a relationship with this guy, and you're not being honest.
No, I didn't say that I didn't want a relationship with him. I just don't want to go back to him the way he is.
All right, ma'am. You want a relationship with the guy, and that's okay. But the energy that's coming off of you, how long you been in therapy?
Probably a little under 6 months.
All right. And what does your counselor say is the animating issue?
Well, she only has my side, so from the behavior, she says that she feels that he's a narcissist. So,
But the therapy, okay, your therapy
and
should be
so for
about you,
me,
but your therapy should be about you, not him.
right, and so I allowed a lot of I allowed a lot of things that took me out of character and allowed me to be less in control of what I wanted to do, and I made a lot of changes for him, and so that took me out of
All right.
what
So
I was
let me
doing.
just say this, and I got to move on.
Okay.
Whatever issue, there is a certain amount of hostility and anger, warranted as it may be. It's still there. It's palpable. It's coming all through the conversation. Number one, number two, your therapy is supposed to be about you, not your problem with your ex. That's what I'm saying. When you've been in some counseling for 6 months and she's saying, I asked what she said about you, not about him. That's why I said you're still involved with him. Everything you talked about was him. And the first thing you asked was, how do you fix a situation with somebody who thinks they're better than you because they have a degree? That question makes no sense, but it makes sense when it's filtered through a complex set of emotions and a bunch of raw nerves, a relationship that's ended that you really don't want to end.
True.
That's chaotic. And you're,
True.
all right. Whew. Some people, this is why having children, you should have to have a license to have kids. You shouldn't have had a kid and all that. Hello? Hello? Good. What you got for me?
Everything down. So when I came across you, verify it with my mom and dad, just like, is he talking sense? And he was, and you are. So, just wanted to put that out there. And then what you were talking about with what high value men want and what you're saying that the mothers are supposed to be teaching their children. My mom did. She taught me those things and I didn't even realize it.
Right.
So I had to go back to her and say, like, I'm really sorry that I thought that you didn't teach me these things because she taught me without me even knowing. So it was just.
Well, make sure you use them.
Yes.
Right. Make sure you use them. All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. So, guys, take it easy on the previous caller. You got to remember, women run their logic through their emotions. And if you're going to, and that's just part of dealing with who women are, man. But unfortunately, so many counselors out here are just dragging women along through useless counseling sessions and not getting to the core issue of the individual. Your sessions with your counselor should be one-on-one about you. All right, Stephanie. Let's see what we've gotten. Unmute yourself if you're still here.
I'm here.
So, after you've listened to all those phone calls.
Yes.
Anything become more clear? Any questions?
Well, I mean, I again, it is hard to hear at my age. I do see, listening to some of these women, how you can get stuck in, bad relationships, or like you say, gets caught up on your degree or your education and think that's important in a relationship when it's not. So
right.
Yeah.
So you're in what state again?
I'm in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
So it's coronavirus and holidays.
Yeah.
Yesterday, if you had a panda boo, you and he could have cooked dinner, shared dinner, watched soul food or something and just had a good old time sitting snuggled up on the couch. And then Black Friday happens or whatever. You could have every day known that on Christmas Day, you're going to get some gifts from your old man, and you got a man that you're going to buy gifts for. So Christmas carols and all this other stuff actually has meaning. When people, all the decorations and lights mean something. As single people, this shit doesn't mean anything to us. It's just another goddamn day.
That's
And we're
true.
wasting fucking time. And
Yeah,
we gotta stop this shit, especially as black folks, because we're the ones we had all this stuff taken from us. You
that's
got
true.
a man to look forward to. Oh, I'm gonna buy him this. I'm gonna buy him no. Oh, he likes this. He would smell good in this. I mean, even if you're locked in the house in Philadelphia, you would have something to look forward to other than just same day, in, out, in, out. Relationships are supposed to give you something to look forward to because it creates memories.
That's true.
Every year you have a birthday. Who's there to
Yeah,
blow out the candles and say, remember last year when this happened? Well, we have to decide that people, when I did my first men in training session in Atlanta, I said two things to the men. I said, gentlemen, life happens out there.
yeah, that's true.
And the next thing I said, life is about people. And we have to get to the point to where we start remembering that life is important when it's about people. If you got sick right now, who would come bring you a wet towel for your head and a thermometer and go get your juice?
Well, that's what I'm thinking about now. I mean,
And
I
that's all
can,
we should think about. That's all we should be thinking about at our age, at this age.
well,
Who
I
can
must
run
say,
down and
this
get
is,
my heart medicine and shit? I mean, we done seen enough of this bullshit.
well, I haven't gotten there yet, but I
Well,
mean,
you know
I
what I
see
mean,
myself as,
though.
yeah, I do know what you mean. I see myself in some of these women, like in your 20s, you think the party won't stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then your 30s, you're more focused on your career. And then like the caller in her 40s, that's when, that clock starts ticking and you're coming up with illogical ways of
And the
relationships.
problem is that should have happened by 27. But the
Yeah, they should
problem
have.
for so many black folks is not culture. Feminism has an abnormal hold on black women. Our
Yeah.
culture has told black women you're strong, independent, don't need no man, you're the backbone of the community. This career, most women don't have careers, they got jobs. They got jobs. You're not a VP, you're not the executive vice president of marketing, you're a customer service manager. And and the biggest one of the other things is this whole black don't crack. So many black women can look at themselves at 35 and they still see their 23-year-old face.
Yeah.
But you got that 40-year-old body. So I hope this has helped you at least start to reframe how you look at men and realize that man are his bills paid?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious. That's the real standard.
No, you're
If he's
right.
taking care of himself, cause it ain't like you gonna move in with him no way. That ain't what you gonna be looking to do at the beginning. You ain't gonna move him. You're looking somebody that you can eat some soup with, and enjoy some downtime while we try not to die out here in this pandemic. So thanks for
Yeah.
calling in and thanks for being honest, because a lot of sisters your age want to argue with me, because that's who initially came at me the hardest.
Yeah.
Generation X black women, because the truth that I was saying hurt, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
indeed.
being told to hurt. It was being
Yeah.
told to get us to start looking at things differently. Appreciate it, Ma.
Okay.
Give me a cheesesteak. Gino's in the
Okay.
house. All right. Yeah, I don't say nothing to be bother nobody, and Carla, unmute yourself. Hello. I'm good. How are you? What do you got for me?
I've lived a long experience with only my 40 years of age, but I just now from life experience realize a lot of things that you've said are true. And so I'm speaking to the younger girls and just saying that I mean, it's I going back a little bit, I had the corporate experience of having the 9 to 5 and working like a dog and thinking, okay, I'm in corporate America making 6 figures, and I met a great man, and I'm currently married right now. And unfortunately, I had almost a mental breakdown, which caused me to say, I just can't do it anymore. I really would like, my husband to take over and I assist and be more of a helpmate to him. And our marriage has been the best it's ever been in years. And I took pride thinking, oh, I'm the strong, independent woman. And I thought things are going great because I had a husband, but I didn't realize slowly it was just draining on me. And so now that he is a provider, he's a great man. I was a single mom when he met me, and I stayed feminine, and he took on, being a stepfather, and we now have a daughter together. And I have a small business, so I definitely contribute to other things, investments, vacation, stuff like that too. But I'm just so much happier, and all my friends are like, "What have you done? You're just happier, more with life. I'm not irritable." And so now I'm just realizing through trial and error that this is the best way to go. And I, with my daughter, I'm going to teach her the same thing. Get your education, but go into relationships with intention and have a purpose behind. Don't go through life like everything will fall in place.
Right.
Have intention.
Right. And see, the thing is, I remember seeing white women go to college, and they would have their freshman and sophomore year. They would party and drink and do all the crazy. But junior, senior, they got surgical. They got laser focused, and they're leaving college with their husbands or at least engaged. And so many of our people in our community were just it'll happen, and it doesn't. And what you said makes sense because I, as a corporate brother, I saw many corporate sisters who are just unhappy today because pressure and stress is made for shoulders, not for hips. Yes, you
Yes.
can do it, but you're not built to do it for the length of time we are. And when you finally say, I can, but I don't want to, and allow your husband or the man in your life to say, all right, then you're willing to let me go do that, it opens you up to be the woman that you were created to be from the beginning. But it's so hard to tell many sisters that because they hear that that means you're taking a back seat or you're
Mm-mm.
putting yourself in a weakened position and all those negative things that are meant to keep black men and black women single and us all feeding the economy with our $1.1 trillion worth of spending power. So thank you for calling in and telling them that because they'll hear it differently coming from a corporate sister than they will from me. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye. So, ladies, understand something that I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm gonna tell you right now. I only deal with professional women. You go to college, get your degree. Hell, even go get. But you have to enter relationship. Relationships are what women are. You're better at it. You're the social of the group. Go into your relationships with men with purpose because you don't want to get to where the conversation I had with the previous caller to where, you know, you just wasted so much. You'd be amazed at how 6 months can turn into 5 years, it can turn into 7 years wasted time. Hold on. Let's see what's going on in the chat room. If anything is coming. So, all right, guys. I think this is a good show. Here's what we're gonna start talking about next week. Here's what's next. Godfather's on this reclamation. Reclamation meaning reclaiming. We're going to start reclaiming men and women over here and over there. The people who say they want to something more out of life than just being by themselves. It's time to start reclaiming, and it's completely voluntary. But have you ever seen when a community will say, "Bring in your old cars," or and then next thing you know, they refurbish and take something that's been sitting in the garage, and now it becomes a collector's item and it's valued. Reclamation. So I think many sisters need to, I think many modern women need to be reclaimed. And I'm looking for like-minded, like this is where the matchmakers and the femininity instructors and the etiquette coaches, all the people who work in the relationship business, this is where you'll need your help. If people are raising their hand to say I need to be reclaimed, okay, come on in. That was the original purpose of Men in Training, MIT, was to bring men in for a 3 to 4 day weekend and put together man skills like a man boot camp and send men back out into their world so they could become little nodes of influence and power in their own systems. Unfortunately, CV kind of shut that down. But look, ain't nobody gonna come save us individually. And it's the holiday season. CV slowed everything down. And it's time for everybody to really look and say, this is where I am. And I don't want to, die alone or pass alone. All right. Well, cool. Reclamation, baby. Let's get this going. Christmas music. Godfather in the house. What else am I looking for? I'm looking for help. I'm looking for single women who want something different to raise your hand and say, I want something different. I'm tired of fighting this old way. I want to do something different. For men who want something different and are willing to be a CIA man, I'm looking for you to raise your hand too. Hey man, we have to try something new. And like I say, this high value this or high value that, I am just a person. All I'm offering is a starting point, something to get the conversation started. You don't have to do it my way. But we need a way. We need multiple ways. So, if, like I said, in 2021, I'm going to be featuring a new couple every month. Dope lighting, man. A new couple every month. That's what I'm going to be doing. Featuring a couple every month. Putting it in your face. I'm going to remarket our image, reclaiming it. But I need your help. I need you to be willing to do something different. I need you to be willing to actually become a change agent of one for yourself. And you will be amazed at what happens when you start doing what you need to do for you. How different the world tends to respond to you. The world takes notice when we do something. That's why I'm big on saying stuff. Like you heard me talk about, I'm thinking about moving. I may move to New York. It's amazing at how the universe responds to you when you decide to speak something out there and then act on it. As dire as the statistics are, the numbers may be, look, man, it's only over once you take that dirt nap. But up in between now and then, you can decide to do what you want to do. So, what's going on here? Paid actors. Board, please. I rebuke, huh?
I rebuke.
All right, folks, we got to run. It's been a great show. Be nice to one another. It's the holiday season. Every morning I wake up during the holiday season. My lights are set to "It's the most wonderful time of the year." Every morning I wake up singing that song. It just makes me feel better. What makes you feel better? What makes you want to do better? Makes you want to be better? I think it's that simple. Yay, look at the snow globe and the lights. All right, people, I gotta run. Tomorrow is Suit Saturday. Remember, Suit Saturday, Skirt Saturday. Look good tomorrow. Smell good tomorrow. As a single person, as a single man, are you doing anything for charity? There is something about doing something for charities, especially this time of the year. Don't post it on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. Just go do it. Helping other people is its own reward. I got a bunch of clothes I'm giving away. When I was in Oklahoma, I used to give stuff away to the Jesus House. And then when guys were coming out of jail, they had a drive that I gave suits to guys that would have stuff to go interview with. There's so many ways that you can help somebody, and it always comes back to you. It always comes back. Pay it forward, gentlemen. Understand something. The things I say on this platform, especially if you're new to these spaces, can be harsh. If you're not used to it, we're used to it, but people cannot be used to it. But when they see that you're a man of your word and you're doing what you can, the best way you can, that's all that anybody can ask. Gentlemen, you can shut any woman up with your work. Gentlemen, you can shut your critics up with your work. You can shut the naysayer in your head, the doubter in your head, up with just your work. Even if you're spending this season alone, be a gift to yourself. Be a blessing to yourself. Be a blessing to others. Thank you, guys. Till the next time, we are out of here. You guys know how we do this. Working on the Christmas music, too. Working on the Christmas music. Transition to, you know who it is. Peace out. Thank you to all the Patreons. The patrons help make this channel possible. I am going to be fluting back out to New York to take another trip. I think I might also slide down to Houston, go see some of the women of the mix and possibly the youngsters down there at the cruise season. I got to get down to Houston. And I also just got to go get me a good steak and some seafood, man. Houston's what's up. So, here we go. For real. Join me on Instagram for videos you will only see in the frat room. Funny stuff happens in the frat room. PhDs left and right. Dogs everywhere. But when they're up, they're up. When they're down, they're down.
So tell your
Email your show ideas to info@bykevinsamuels.com. In the title, subject with show idea. Or type Ask Godfather and type your question, and I may actually make a video responding to it. Many more pre-recorded videos will happen this week and next week. I'm going to be dropping at least 3 pre-recorded videos a week. Fashion, fragrance, advice, things like that. All right. Or even better, starting next week, I'm going to be doing my end of the year push. I'm opening up more time for consulting. People have been asking me, are you doing one-on-ones? I am doing one-on-ones. You go to bykevinsamuels.com and book either your virtual consultation or your customized hour. Right there, my schedule, you'll go select your service, time, your date. Expect my inbox. Also, please don't email me asking how do I book a service or how do I book a consultation. Don't inbox. Just go to the website. I get these. It seems like I get these every day. I don't understand why. Maybe I'll post it at the bottom of the channel. I think it would be pretty easy just to go to the website. But, I tend not to respond to those things though. Too many of them. All right, we out of here, people. Good stuff. Looking for Money World girls. Not the rebukable kind.
I rebuke.
If you're a Money World girl, you want to dance and be Money World, do me a favor, send it to my email. Keep it cool, keep it classy. Remember, you don't get to choose what happens to you, only how you respond to it. Be cool, be nice. Till next time, we are out. Peace.